I think we all have an innate need to be known. I am Summer. My name is sometimes easy for people to remember, and all my life I've heard people say, "Oh, that's Summer," and I had no idea who they were most of the time because I've always been a behind-the-scenes person. That's where people who are great at getting things done but not so great with people go. That's also where the fat people go. I'm a great person for finishing jobs. I hate lists, but I can get them done. Not in order, but I can accomplish things in my own time and probably 10 other tasks you didn't ask for, and maybe not how you intended them, and most likely you would have preferred that I followed the itemized list. And even though I brought value to your life and you didn't know you needed those things done, but you still need me to finish number 2, number 6, and number 9, and you're wondering why the books had to be alphabetized, but because you had them in the order that made sense to you before I even touched them. But don't worry about that, because I will make sure to always bring you the book that you need when you ask me, because remember, now that's my job, and it was way too hard for me to figure it out the way you had it before. So anyway, if you hand me a manual, I will read it, and I will follow all the rules to a T unless they're about clothing. And then I might question to see if there's any leeway for my Birkenstocks, piercings, and whatever else I wear, because I prefer modesty. I don't like to wear what people tell me to wear, and I have plantar fasciitis. I'm a sensory person. I didn't know that until a few years ago. It would have been very helpful when I was younger, but here we are. I live with several chronic conditions that cause constant pain. I've learned to read a room and myself because my brain sometimes lies to me. But I'm a great reader and a fairly good actor. So you might never know I'm suffering unless it's so great I can't cover it, in which case I'll either stay home or go there. I've danced with politics several ways. I've hated politics, but I learned that it touches everything, so I need to be aware and communicate with my representatives about what I want or why vote. I have been a Republican, a Democrat, independent, and currently I am disenfranchised. However, I believe that there are good humans in all groups, and if we find the right ones, I can support those people. After years of reading and learning about different people, I see that freedom to marry, which Karen and I did vote for even before we realized we were voting for our own civil rights, had been hard fought for by many people before us. People all over the world have been persecuted, criminalized, and even killed because they loved someone that went against what other people decided was wrong. They even rewrote the Bible in 1947 to make homosexuality a sin. So even though I've always loved rainbows because they are a promise from God to not destroy the earth, they are also a promise that God loves all of us. And the colors signify life, healing, sunlight, nature, serenity, and spirit. So Pride Month is important to some of us, whether all of us like it or need it, and I think that's great. I've always had an ability to interact with children. Adults and peers have always been hard for me to trust and to relate to. I started caring for other people's children when I was 10. I often had other people's children with me until I was at least 25 and my nephew Casey was born. I do have other nieces and nephews, but they didn't live in the same town as me. Then I often had my nieces and nephews with me. Around that time, I was trying to learn to interact with people around me. I met Karen in 2003, and she was so natural with everyone. I wanted to be like that. Between therapists and books and lots of time with Karen and Jamie, I have put a lot of time into learning how to listen and respond in a more gentle manner to people. I started writing, I think, as soon as I could put words on paper. I remember writing stories and drawing pictures to go with them, even before I could really read. I was a very smart child. My parents saw that, and I tested beyond kindergarten, so I skipped it and went to first grade early. I don't think that was a good idea. I think there were things I was supposed to learn in kindergarten that I missed. I've often felt like I didn't fit in with people my own age. When Casey was super smart like me and my sister was talking about having him skip a grade, I asked her not to. He was a little awkward like me too. And I thought there were social things that I missed, and I didn't want him to miss those things. I am thankful that she considered my words. I have a lot more confidence in my writing than I do my speaking ability, but I have I don't want to just be Jamie's friend or Casey's auntie or Joanne's daughter or Karen's wife. So maybe since I've noticed that people don't like to read as much as they like to listen or watch, that I should learn to speak as well as I write. If you notice, my mouth is small. I have nerve pain in my face. Might be times that I can't speak at all. I tend to try to keep the movements in my face small so that I don't aggravate the muscles in my face. I was always an active child. I rode my bike everywhere. I danced every day. I was not wired for sports at all, but I could outdance all my friends. Yet I was always fat. Not as big as I am now. I wish I had known that when I was growing up. I wish that it had not been such an issue, because that is why I would not go to the doctor unless I thought I was dying. I didn't want to be told I was fat. I mean, duh. If I could change that, I would have. I didn't figure out what I needed to do to lose weight until I'd been chronic for 10 years working to be as well as possible, got cancer, nearly died twice from blood clots caused by Magestrol. After lots of learning to set boundaries, making myself important, making good habits, and even telling my doctor no, I was losing weight. I've lost 95 pounds so far. Do I have a reason for this message, other than to be known? Well, maybe just like the fact that I didn't learn my middle name until I was in 4th grade because Summer Clemenson took a long time to learn. Summer Deanne Clemenson was even more of a mouthful. Being known takes time. I have been a receptionist, a vacation Bible school teacher, a preschool teacher, a nanny, a janitor, a manager of a retail store, a website designer, an executive director of a nonprofit. I am a creative director of an LLC, a wife, a sister, a daughter, an auntie, a friend, a reader, a writer, a cook, and I'm not dead yet, so there will be more to come. How do you know someone if you've never at least sat with them with a cup of coffee? Are you up for it? Let me know. I love you. Be blessed.